The Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content. Tune in and subscribe to Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Yeah, motherfuckers! What's happening? Nah, sorry.
Hey.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ginge Pedro show. There he is. Thought I had Patches O'Houlihan with me today.
Oh, yeah, dude. I love that movie.
All right. That's a great movie. If you can dodge a Panamanian, you can dodge a Mexican. I don't know.
Exactly.
Does it work like that?
Panamanians are kind of overweight. They're really hard to toss. So
Yeah.
You need shorter, maybe Salvadorians. Okay, this is going to get very racist, so we better stop.
I better trust you about as far as I can throw you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anyway, so now that we've got and if you notice, actually, we've been having some casual racism at the start of each episode these last couple weeks. So that's good. And now that we got that out of the way, we have with us fellow animator, returning to the show even, David Otterby, a.k.a. PumSpak.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and bring him out. I was going to try to.
Ooh, he's blurry.
Right.
Hey, hold on a second.
Hey, yo.
What's going on up there? Let me fix that. Sorry, boys.
Oh,
It's
no,
all right. Don't worry. It adds an air of mystery and panache to the show. So
we're not sure if it's David Otterby at this point. It could just be a guy that
there
looks
you
very
go.
similar. We're about to find out. Yeah,
Dang, how's that?
It's Davey and friend.
How was that?
Good.
That's much better, man.
Yeah, very clear.
I don't know what happened, man. Of course, leave it to me. I turned off the autofocus or something, and I went up there to press it, and nothing happened, and I just...
It's live television, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All righty. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us today. Definitely appreciate that.
Man, I really appreciate being here, you guys. You have no idea.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. You were one of our first guests. I think we were just
episode 12.
Episode 12, and dude, you're back. People already know who you are, but maybe some people who are watching would like to get to know who's Davey and what does PumSpak mean.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I got some weird lights on in here. Is it bright enough? I could turn some overheads on. Can you guys even see me? I got
we can see you, dude. It has a very 90s rave vibe. I like it.
It's fitting with the alien poster in the background. You look like you're really about to drop something on us.
All right, dude. All right. Sounds good. I'll leave it.
Yeah, man.
Stop, Ali.
Hey, I just real quick, just to say it again, I missed you guys very much, and thank you for having me on that first time. And you have no idea, I'm so excited to be here again and kick it with y'all.
Oh, dude, that's awesome, man.
God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, and you brought a friend along with you. We were talking about him a little bit behind the scenes, but tell us about this plant.
This giant plant?
Yeah, what is it really? Is it a fern? Are we talking vegetation?
No, that's no fern.
Dude, it's like the Draconea maybe lineage. You know what's that? I think it's Draconea. I have no idea, man. It was given to me. I guess as a gift. I had to move it in here. I had my brother couldn't take care of his cat anymore, so I took it home, and my cat fell in love with this thing and just started eating it every day. But it's looking good. I put it in a different room. Kind of had to separate the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's coming back. It used to be the whole thing was chewed up all around. But it's a big boy. It's like if Animal from the Muppets was a plant.
Yeah, dude.
I like it.
It's awesome.
I've been compared to Animal in my youth. I actually grew up playing drums and had just long hair and wore a silly hat and was always in my face.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I had this teacher just called me Animal. Kind of a fun thing. Okay. So, Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us again today. What is the name PumSpak? While we're talking nicknames, could you elaborate on that? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll try and tell that one quickly. It's not that exciting. I'm a comic book fan, just like you guys are. So PumSpak, right. It's a sound effect of a gun. Nice. There's a gun that it was part of a specific villain and part of a specific storyline. It was like when Captain America was like, these are on the 315s, I think, of Captain America. He was dealing with the Serpent Society and all of them. Wow. And there was, Marvel always had these like A and B and C stories, and they'd pepper things in that they'd be like, oh, kind of like Venom. It took like 2 years to develop that, right?
Yeah.
From the time we saw the costume and 298 or whatever it was, and I don't know, but I mean, even all the Secret Wars stuff, but things took a while, and they'd always do this, like they just show somebody, they'd just show somebody in the back of like a panel in one of the comics, like peek out and be like, oh, I'm gonna do something one day, who is that guy? So same thing with this gun. There was somebody was just like showing up randomly, killing members of like the Serpent Society and other lower tier villains. Mm-hmm. And the thing that you just knew it was the same guy killing them is just he had this gun that made this PumSpak noise, and I think it was supposed to be like
rock and roll,
like a exploding shell. So it'd be like pum, it'd be like pum, and then it'd go in, and then the spak was the explosion.
Nice. Right.
Yeah, man. Okay. But and then it has a deeper meaning for me as well for like Comicsgate. It's just like legion of dudes, and nobody knew who they were, just taking out these low tier villains. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Very nice. I like it.
Yeah. So you not sort of small backstory, man.
That's right.
I like it. Very nice. All right. So sweet. Yeah.
Kicking
us right off with the backstory. That's fitting again for a comic book show. Everybody's got.
Yeah, dude, but you're here for a specific reason, right?
Yeah, I love comic books, man.
Nice.
I love comic books, and I wanted to make my own.
Very cool. So, dude, at the time you were here the first time, you were in the process of just like starting production on it. So, what's happening now?
What's happening now, Pedro, is the book is done.
Awesome.
56 pages. Fully colored, lettered by Eric Weathers. Matt Yackey did colored 8 pages of a little mini origin backup story, kind of one of the characters. But the main thing, it's a 38-page main story with some art, with some really great people. Got this really awesome dude named Josh Perez who colored the whole thing. He worked on a lot of IDW books and like Transformers and stuff like that. And also 2, I think, just gorgeous covers by some top talent in the animation business in town here. One of those individuals is a guy named Justin Noel, and he's a character designer on Rick and Morty, and he's worked on tons and tons of stuff. And he's on a new project now. I don't remember the name of it. He did a really, really nice cover. Both covers that I'm offering are wraparound covers.
Nice.
And the second cover I'm calling it's the villain variant, and that was done by Devin Roth. He goes by Devo. He's got an awesome Discord channel and his own clothing line called Cool Kid Dino, coolkiddino.com. But he was a character designer on Bob's Burgers, and probably 50 to 60% of the characters that you know and love on that show were designed by my friend Devo.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay, very cool. So definitely, let me go ahead and pull this up. But before we get too into the book, let me say hello to the chat real quick. We got Neostar Productions.
So Neostar.
Thank you, Stefan. Thanks for coming by, buddy. One of the nicest guys out there.
The guy with the best intros on all of Comicsgate.
This is true.
Yeah. We got Kid Bash Federation.
What is this?
What's up, Kid Bash?
Screaming woman. Yeah.
Very nice.
Kind of at a loss there.
Did anybody else see that pop on the screen, or am I crazy?
Yeah, I didn't do it. I saw a little cowboy guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a Frank Forte drawing of Pops in the Rick and Morty, aka Bob's Burger style. And he asked me what I like better, Star Wars or Star Trek, and I said, they were both good and had their moment, right? But so he gave me a blaster in one hand and a phaser in the other.
For the record, Bob,
right there.
For the record, you almost gave me a heart attack. So please let me know when you're gonna do stuff like that. Yeah.
You talked about Bob's Burgers. I figured you recognized the style, right?
Yeah.
That's all. All right.
Nice, dude.
All right. Very cool. Alrighty. So,
Alrighty. Was that what was his name? Crim Crum? What did it say in his shirt?
Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah.
CromCon.
CromCon.
Yeah. Which is Pops's comics related. Forget what the O is. Madness. Anyways. So, let's, before we get too into the book, I am just sort of curious because I know we talked a little bit about your creative journey last time we spoke, but that's sort of typically what we do on the show. We like to get to know, we like to get to know people a little bit before we get into the book. And, maybe without getting too into the weeds, I just was curious, what was your official or not even official, but you've worked on a lot of really interesting shows. How does one get to that point? You know what I mean? You probably had a lot of really interesting jobs along the way in terms of climbing the ladder. What's that? Well, how does one sort of achieve all that?
It kind of never ends. It starts with just getting out here. If you want to be a part of this industry, it starts with just getting out here. It doesn't matter if you went to school or if you didn't do anything like that. There's work and if you're passionate about this industry, you need to get out here because we want you out here. I worked in live action for probably 10 years first, and it started with me just posting, it started like me sending my resume to just Fox, the entity, the building,
right.
To the lot. I mean, hi, I have a lot. But I really didn't get any traction until I went to this random film fan site forum section, and there was just people in Hollywood, and I posted, "Will work for free." And
that works.
Lo and behold, I started to get some responses, and I told the story the other night. I think on Joe's channel, which I was very thankful to be on as well. Thank you, Joe Sontag.
Very nice.
Back Reaper. I working for free. I ended up working on this horror movie called Never Die Alone. I think they changed it to Scream Bloody Murder. But then I was put up in a Motel 6 for 7 days and felt like I had made it. It was just a lot of fun to just be put up in a place for free and working every day on a film set and getting to see people have blood thrown on them and dismembered, and man, it was a blast. And I just ran around on that film shoot. And for the most part, ever since then, it's just been somebody calling me up saying, "Hey, do you want to work on this?" Once you make a good impression with people, it can go a long way. But dude, it's still, talking about the ladder though, it's working out here. You're freelancing, so the job ends and you might not have something after that. So I'm currently, I actually just started a new project this week. I guess I can say what it is. Have you heard of the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers? It was actually a comic book.
Let me get in here and take over. Yes, I know very, very, very much about the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers.
Here we go, man. So, they did an animated show of that, and
Woody Harrelson and dude from Roseanne, a whole bunch of cool people doing voices.
Yeah, Pete Davidson, Tiffany Haddish. So I'll be on season 2 of that.
Dude, awesome. Look, I'm an underground comics fan from the 70s. Feds and Heads, all that stuff, man. I got a box back here full of it.
Cool, man. Well, hey, I might need to hit you up for some deep cuts.
Anytime, man. Anytime. I'll get back out your way. But yeah, you guys, if you don't know the Freak Brothers, you need to go on YouTube, check it out. I don't know, 25 printings of the first of the series, like 25 or so.
Yeah, and it's super raunchy and like super like drug related. It's like sex, drugs, and
drugs, and rock and roll, baby. That's what it is.
All right. I'll pull my titties out.
Yeah, well, that would be mild. That would be mild if you did that in the Freak Brothers.
All right, very cool. So, could you talk a little bit about? Because I'll say for me, one of my pipe dreams is being a director, of any kind. And while I don't have that experience per se, I feel like just from what I understand, it's a lot of problem solving, right? You hear that word a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of management. It's a lot of like almost what we do as comic book writers without the probably much larger budget and the official whatever. But you know what I mean? Like managing as an indie guy, you basically have to be the full business. Especially as the writer, because you're having to helm the or whoever is going to be the head of the project. But could you talk a little bit about just sort of being a director or an animation lead, or just team leading and problem solving in animation?
Yeah, well, listen, it's something I think everybody wants to do, and at the same, for most part, you have a lot of directors who I think want to be actors, and a lot of actors who want to be directors. But I think people like you and myself and Pedro, I think just from watching lots of film and reading lots of comic books, we just naturally understand sequential art and storyboarding. I think you would be surprised at how good of a director you are if you just had a blank script in front of you and you're trying to imagine shots and put it in your head. And even the most simple storyboards, I've seen directors who like to do their boards, and it's stick figures. But the crew just needs something, to understand. Hey, we just have two people here and a camera pointing this way. You'll see directors doing this a lot, like pointing with their finger. Yeah. Camera and sitting up here and going like, but
even like the conductor version.
Yeah, but even the director needs a good crew, and I think one of the it's like the most hated department on any production is always production. The producer and the people with the money and the people who have to say no. All the other departments, whether it's craft service, transportation, hair and makeup, wardrobe, grip, electric, set dress, they all get along and they all love each other. And a lot of times production, you kind of feel like you're on the kind of like in the not cool club,
Yeah, you're
you're part of the film. You're part of the film, but sometimes you're the department you're the only department that says no.
Yeah.
And then it can create conflict. But that being said, it's like the first AD is often like the most hated person on a film set, just because like it's almost like they're like a production person. The first AD doesn't get to do anything fun like a director does. And when I say first AD, an AD, it's like the assistant director.
Mm-hmm.
They are tasked with just like managing that set, and it is so hard to keep people quiet when you're rolling and lighting and this and that, and that's the first AD's job, is to just kind of really just be hustling and having that set just buckled down, and it's not an easy gig. But a really good AD is going to allow a director the opportunity to direct well. And oftentimes too, it's usually, they'll say it's like the most important people. It's like your production designer. They're the ones who are creating the set. And then your DP, your director of photography. I worked on a movie called Never Die Alone. It was, people kind of laugh at it, and it didn't really get much play. It starred DMX and David Arquette, believe it or not. Yeah, it was cool, dude. But it was an indie film, and I think David Arquette was like a journalist who was trying to figure out something. It was kind of a serious role, and DMX was this dude who used to live in this town as like the head gangster and had been gone and is now coming back, and it's like things have changed or something. But what set us apart on that film though was we had the DP. His name is Matty Leboutique, and he was coming off of like Requiem for a Dream, So it was just like to have him was just a big deal, Just so you have to, when you're shooting on film, you have to have the all the lighting, right and everything. And
yeah, dude, like I don't want to like compare names, but I mean I didn't met him working. He was like on vacation, but I met like Vittorio Storato in Panama.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, that guy is like the freaking god of like DP, man. Like,
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, he was a big deal,
Yeah, dude. Like he uses like he was trying to explain to me in really broken English, like how he uses like a light board when people are filming. Like he will like tell the director like set the pace of the actor so I can use light to enhance what they're saying. It's like what? Like who does that? That guy, like, dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, dude. So when you meet people like that, they always blow you away, like with knowledge and like.
And what's cool and just being around people that rubs off. So I'm not trying to say I'm this or that. I'm this is my comic book. It's the first thing that I've written. But having opportunities. Yeah, I'm working on like seasons 3, especially season 3 of Rick and Morty. I spent a lot of time in kind of like when we would launch scripts, we would just be in the room with all the writers, sometimes Dan Harmon, and usually always Justin Roiland. Right and to kind of see them, to see how willing they were to just cut things or to kind of compromise, it really made it just much easier for me to kind of do the same thing on my stuff. Because some of my stuff, I'll be like, oh, no way. I've got to see him pull that thing out of his pocket and look at it, and I'm just because I drew it and I wrote it. So it needs to be in there, right. But when you kind of it's like editing, and I think just seeing other people, professionals being willing to edit and do certain things just has really helped me. But one thing, dude, I just wanted to go back really quick. You're talking about career and this and that, but out here, dude, it's a hustle. So even though I'm just, I'm chilling on a gig for this Freak Brothers gig, hopefully for a minute, dude, I was driving a van as the entry level, as a transpo PA basically, on a reality show. It was a blast. I loved every minute of it. And it was at a good rate. But I was doing 12-hour days, driving a van, taking crew back and forth to set. And I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. It's not that I'm embarrassed or anything. I just want to pick up work. But it's like, hey, what were you guys doing before this? Producing, But it's weird. I'm actually trying to I want to work for them again. So I want them to think that I'm just like a low-tier PA that just wants to drive, because sometimes it's like if they know, I'm like, oh, I'm a 2-time Emmy award-winning producer from Rick and Morty, and I'm not trying to say I mean, you know what I mean? They just might be like, oh, we don't want to hire you because you're like, I'm the producer. What?
Yeah, that happens, but yeah. Yeah,
so I have two different resumes out here, man. Just for depending on or 2 or 3, depending on what kind of work I'm trying to get.
Yeah, but that's cool. You gotta keep yourself humble and dude, like every experience adds up. Like maybe you'll get an idea for a driver and
dude, I had
an awesome comic,
and I had more fun on this. What I'm saying, just as an entry level position, I had more fun doing this job than any gig that I've done in a while, dude. I drove to Malibu and I was all over the place. Had crew, with me, and it was a lot of fun. Just when you're out and about and just driving all over LA, you see and hear and bump into a lot of funny things.
Yeah, sounds fun. Definitely sounds like a lot of fun.
I know good stuff. I know.
Yeah, I see that good stuff. He really likes those directors of photography, huh?
Yeah, he gets. Cool.
Who doesn't? Come on.
To me, that's kind of crowded, but hey, to each his own.
That's right.
Two's company? Three's a crowd. Come on, Pedro. I guess that would make 3 though. So I guess there you go.
and that's called the train around this part. Okay, let's get back on track.
Okay. So I've had this segue just kind of lying in wait like a bear trap here. So I'm going to go ahead and spring this. So, Davey, it really sounds a lot like, to put together a production, it's a lot like sort of the sound of music in a way.
That's true. That is. There's a lot of it's almost like a band. It's almost like if you get 5 things together and have them all do something at the same time, it might make something cool.
Dude, you said the sound of music, and I thought you were talking about Nazis. Why do you do this to me?
Dang, dude.
Ginge?
Wow.
Don't do this to me, Ginge.
Not where I was headed with that. I did also mess up the delivery, but it's still I still stuck the landing, so I'm pleased with that. So we'll carry
as long as you're happy, my friend. As long as you're happy.
Okay, no, but I say that because obviously Unemployed Monsters Presents, that's your book right now on Indiegogo. That's what we're here to talk about, and it's got some music related elements to it for sure. Right? Congratulations too. Are you still in your first 30 days or?
Yeah, I'm in my first 30 days. I think I have 6 days left, and I'm gonna send out my first update to all the awesome backers and say, hey, I'm gonna. If you didn't know how Indiegogo works, it's not over yet. I'm gonna do another 30.
All right. Yes, right on for sure. And Davey, I think we have a question for you here. Kit Bash maybe asks, have you lived in the West your entire time or the entire time?
I grew up in New Jersey on the East Coast. I lived in New Jersey till I was 21. From there, I lived in Vermont for about 3 years. And then from Vermont, I went to Nashville, Tennessee. I kind of bounced around all over the place, but I lived in Nashville for about 5 years. And from there, I went out to Los Angeles, and I've been in LA for about 20.
Right on. Very nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So don't add all those numbers up because you'll know how old I am. But
No, Nashville sounds like an interesting place. I've always wanted to visit. I also want to visit Austin, not because it's like a hipstery scene, but I'm a big fan of live music, and also there's a lot of stand-up comedy there. Do you guys like Kill Tony? Does anybody watch that Kill Tony show on YouTube?
No, I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, Nashville for sure has awesome live music of all genres, and I went to Austin once, dude. I still do, I guess, but I collected movie posters like Mondo Spring.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So Mondo, I don't even know if they still do it. Mondo had their own convention called MondoCon, and
all movie posters.
Yeah, and you'd go there and they had like you'd go stand in line and get screen print movie posters.
Right on.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of my first jobs. That was actually my second job. My first job was McDonald's, and my second job was working at it wasn't AMC at the time. It was the Carmike movie theater. And dude, that was like one of everybody's most favorite parts. Is like, not only would we get the movie posters like months and months in advance, so you kind of you'd kind of get to know way ahead of time what was coming out, but also we'd get to take the movie posters afterwards. So yeah, man, I had like Judge Dredd 3D, Spider-Man with the Andrew Garfield movie, which a lot of people didn't like, but the movie poster was really nice. It had like this really smooth vinyl.
No, now people want it, and now people want that poster because it's all tied in.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Dude,
I was at I went to, there's a pretty cool movie theater in Los Angeles called the ArcLight, and or the Cinerama Dome or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But what was I saying? Dude, for Guardians, I went there for the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy, and they had a trivia question before. They played the movie, and I actually got it right. I answered it, and they gave me a double-sided Guardians movie poster.
Sweet.
Oh,
yeah. So pretty. Yeah, it was neat.
It's funny because Guardians now it's like a household name, but those guys were like garbage tier heroes from Marvel. Like before that movie,
dude. Like, that first Guardians, man, it's like it was. I really liked it. I think it kind of lost a lot of it because its edge rather quickly. But it's funny how much that Guardians movie I think really has kind of affected the Marvel universe, because Thor Ragnarok was just felt like another extension. Like, hey, how can we keep this going? And if you look at that Ant-Man trailer now, that the Quadramania, like it's Guardians, dude. They're like a whole
Guardians again. It's all the whole like we have to be funny. Like it's like a stand-up routine. Like,
so they're like I mean, but it makes probably whatever testing they do, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's like people love that so much, so they're like, dude, we gotta this rainbow alien universe, man. We gotta
it's a formula, right? But I don't know. Like I was advised to watch Werewolves by Night, and I did, and I was pleased because it's different.
Oh yeah, it's black and white, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is, like that production kind of flew under the radar, because I know if they have their eyes on it, they wouldn't have let them do it. Because like they think people just want that neon Marvel, and we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah. I think
unemployed monsters, man.
All right,
let's do it.
Yeah, Kit Bash says real quick here, I worked at General Cinema. I believe he means I have the Batman 1989 reels in my hands. That is that's fucking awesome,
dude.
I love those Tim Burton movies. I know a lot of people shit on them, but
that Prince song got me late more than once. Thank you, Batman 89.
All right. Well, dude, women love Michael Keaton. Maybe thank Michael Keaton too.
No, it was a Prince song.
Oh, a Prince song. Oh, right. Yeah. With the Joker while they're running through the and just destroying everything. What is that tune? It's so random to throw that random.
Yeah, dude.
He was on the soundtrack too, though, with the just called Bat Dance.
The Bat Dance, yeah.
All right. Very nice. Okay, so Davey, let's dive into it, my friend. We've got this trailer here. Do you mind if I go ahead and kick it off?
No, please.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up.
You sharing audio?
Come buy a comic book, come buy a comic book, come buy a comic book, come buy a comic book. Flip the pages to an awesome story about three kids rocking and rolling on the street.
All right.
Get in the garage and practice till you name something that you love. And when you share it with the world, don't be afraid to go against the evil. People with holes in the heads and cheesy music on the radio. Put posters on the walls, rip them down so they can fall. We made this music by ourselves. Nobody even helped. I hope the bad guys end up straight in jail somehow. You'll have to read the comic book to find out.
Right on, dude.
Ow.
Fuck yeah.
Original song, man.
Yeah, right? OG. So that was recorded by at the time she was 9 years old, a little gal named Giada. I found her on Instagram through like my friend's little brother from high school type thing. But I was like, dang, dude, she's a little punk rocker, and I asked him if she was interested in helping me in recording this song, and she was excited to do it, and it turned out really good. But
yeah, dude.
I just gave her an idea. I'm like, this is the world, and I just one little Zoom meeting, and they came back with perfect lyrics. And I know her dad just tried to stay out of it. He said, hey, I just tried to guide her a little bit, but let her do her thing. And 9 years old.
Sweet, dude. She's still playing, or
what's up?
Is she still playing, or
Yeah. She's Giada and Miles on YouTube. I think not long ago she was trying real hard to get to 100 subscribers. But yeah, man, they've got a cool channel, dude. She's always making a freaking really cool and funny and songs. Like they just did one about Halloween, I think.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, honestly, all in all, that was an interesting trailer, aside even from the music, which was great. And also must have been a lot of fun just to have that come in, just to hear it completed. But you did a good job with showing the process work too here at the end. I thought was interesting. Did you put the whole trailer together yourself?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't. My buddy Jake who actually did all the pencils and inks on the main story. He did that. I put up a trailer like a week before. It's just like, hey, my comic book's coming out like next week. I did it on OpenShot, the free editing program. But man, my computer couldn't handle like the preview, so I was just kind of putting clips up blind, and then just doing a render, and like kind of came out. I'm happy with how it came out, actually.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it sounds like a nightmare production, but it came out great. You did like editing without being able to see previews, so you have to render to see what's happening.
Well, actually, this one, my buddy Jake was able to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was able to do it, and I want to give a big thank you and shout out to Brett, Dying Days of Twitter. He wasn't able to cut the whole trailer, but he like animated all those elements, everything except the guy who's like that dude. He gave me all those animated elements. He did all that for me in a very short time, and then we assembled it on our end with Giada's song, and he did the whole bouncing, which is it's so much work. I can't even imagine how much the whole bouncing head to the music he did. That was Brett.
That's honestly one of my favorite trailers I've seen thus far. And my boy down here right below me is the trailer man, so definitely stacks up. Yeah, that's you.
Thank you very much, man. It's hard, it's my first time. It's my first time making a book, you guys. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to show. There's like more in the trailer than there is on the campaign page. So, but I hope people will check out both to get a feel. But there's a lot more to this world and this story than I think you just kind of see on the surface. I am doing a lot of world building in this first issue. It's hard just introducing people to a lot of characters and different things, but I think there's a lot of fun details and a lot of fun art. But like one thing that's not even mentioned on the campaign is CJ's little sister Ula, but she's in that trailer, her big hair that's all waving around. And there's a dynamic between her and her dad, and her daddy, their dad plays a big role in this comic book as well. So there's a lot here that you don't even get to see, but it's done, man. It's done. And
that's so cool, man.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like right now, like working mainstream is really hard to present like new IPs, because it's always like let's remake. Like, dude, this is a brand new IP. Dude, the world building, as you say, like I'm very curious to where this is gonna go, because dude, the world looks lived in. You know what I mean?
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
If you go a little bit down, like down, not up, down there.
Yeah.
For example, that alley scene, dude, is that like a D&D mimic, that trash can?
Yeah, right. Like it's like they're both like one entity.
Yeah, dude. Like that's the thing. Like those little things, they just make me wonder. Like, are all trash cans in this world like this, or just here?
Yeah, that's so that kind of stuff is throughout. Is that's kind of my bread and butter, is just putting all those like weird little. My details are often more interesting than the.
Yeah, dude, like that eye coming from the vent, like on the tentacle, like. You see, like the illustration makes you ask questions, and that's something that I really appreciate when I'm reading a comic or watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm enjoying the story, but the imagery is giving me so much more just by adding little things here and there, So, dude, really well done, man.
Hey, well, that's the greatest compliment I've got so far. Like, and even just just even the little eyes are crossed out on the Glimo poster in the background there. Like. Yeah,
so people hate them. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do silly stuff like that.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better, really. This whole page is just wonderful. Eric Weathers totally nailed the lettering. Looks beautiful. Looks exciting. The colors are interesting. The artist really nailed just making it feel alive, probably due to some of that animation experience too. It just nothing looks stiff. You know what I mean? Everything looks.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And I'm trying to, I don't know, the pages that I put up, I'm trying to show that Gleemo exists. There's these kids, there's some bad guys, but you haven't seen anything yet. If you're slightly interested in any of these images, it's there's a lot of really fun stuff and some action, and it really, the excitement I feel like begins in issue 2 when I introduce but there's so much going on here. I think there's like 17 characters that I want you all to know and love in this first issue.
Very nice. Well, we're definitely looking forward to getting to meet them. Let me ask you this. So are you, because I'm a writer, so I'm curious about your scripting process. How do you work with your artists? Do you give them a thoroughly detailed script, or did you research comic book scripts before? Because you probably had some, a little more experience with screenplay scripts or television scripts or something like that.
Yeah, I had a lot of experience reading those, but I never considered myself a writer. I'm just much more visual. So I initially planned on doing this entirely myself. So rather than kind of writing characters, it's kind of like I need to kind of put them in a room and then figure out how they'll get out, if that makes sense. But I kind of sometimes need to draw that out. So it's like, if there's a situation where the three of us were all in a room, like that Joker scene with the pool stick, or if there's only one hot dog on the floor, we all have to fight over it. Like, I don't know that I can necessarily write that. It's like I would need to kind of draw us in a box in that room, and then be like, oh, like he would dive for it, and then but he would push him out of the way, which would allow this guy in and kind of really see it.
Oh, God.
So I drew the whole thing first. And my plan was initially to kind of release it with my art, and I wrote it and drew it and colored it. And by the time I was ready to put it out there, and this is 2 years ago or so, I just looked at it and said, this doesn't look that good.
Oh, wow, dude.
And it takes a lot of balls to admit that, though.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, it's the balls to move. Like, okay, I need help. You know what I mean?
I had a lot of people say, "Hey, it looks great. You have your own style and this and that charm, blah blah blah." But I really felt like this is me putting something out into the world. So if I'm gonna put kind of this much time and effort into something, like let me instead of trying to roll a bowling ball and get a strike, let me get a bazooka cannon and fire it at the pins and make sure I get a strike.
Yeah, go through the wall and hit the ice cream shop.
Yeah, dude, I ain't missing.
Kill a bunch of kids along the way.
That's okay.
They enjoyed it while they lasted.
Hey, they felt like they were flying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in this situation, but when it came down to the writing, I had almost like multiple lines of editing happen, which it was very beneficial. So it took I don't want to take anything away from Jake Kazakos. He did all of the pencils and inks on this the main story. He took this book to a level that I never expected it to go. But I took a lot of the guesswork out of it. I was able to give him my entire PDF, and so he could see what I wanted. He could see the world that I wanted and created, and he could just kind of redo what I did.
Love it.
Yeah, and 100%. And before even that happened, I took all of my characters, like my 15 to 17 characters I just told you about. I took those characters and I gave them to Justin Noel from Rick and Morty, and he more than plussed them, dude. You know what I mean? Like he made them functional. He added the proper anatomy underneath, what I was trying to do. So with all those super tight designs and my huge PDF and layout, I was able to kind of give that to Jake and just sit back. And we got to the point where it was just like, he was initially sending me like, oh, how does these thumbs look? And after like 5 things, I was like, dude, I don't need to see this anymore. You can just
wing it. Yeah.
So he kind of was able to kind of go more straight to final, whatever. For the most part, and then also too, he was kind of my first line of editing, or by that point it should have been like third already, but he was in there kind of sometimes being like, I don't understand this, but
dude, that's so
cool.
important.
So just to have him there was able to take out some of those questions that I thought were just it was on the page. And then there are other moments where it was just like, oh dude, like for whatever reason, this took me 3 pages to get this person from here to there. We can condense this. So rather than just releasing something, I really had time to kind of to do all that. Yeah. And then when it was all done, I had a friend just help me with the script again. And then before I gave my script to Eric Weathers, he just got my script to a better place, a much better place.
Very cool.
Yeah, this the whole project, the character designs. This definitely looks like the real deal, and I would say you were smart to bring on all the talent you did, and you've got some, just a fantastic team behind you, man. It looks great.
Well, whatever happens, I'm just trying to make a good comic book. I love comics, and I want to just tell my own story. I'd love for it to blow up and be a big thing, but at the same time, I just really like comics, and I want to make a book.
Absolutely.
In the end, whether it goes big or whatever it does, dude, the thing is putting stuff out. Like, because I was having this conversation with other creators. Like, dude, like some people are doing so well, but yeah, be happy for them, but that's not your journey.
I have 40 backers, and I'm just so thankful.
Exactly. That's the attitude, man. Because some people don't get to back. You're already back. You're already like funded. So, dude, and the book looks amazing. People who will get the book will give their opinions of the book. Dude, next time you're gonna kill it. You know what I mean?
I'm also trying. and that's how I'm trying to look at it as well. I'm looking long term. This is I expect to bring this book to conventions and stand behind a table and sell it and do all that.
Yeah.
So this is a walking race, dude. We are setting up IPs out to the world.
I like that.
Yeah, and I hope so, and that's one of the things too. Is and I'm a huge fan of CG and Comicsgate, and not ashamed or embarrassed to say anything like that. And a lot of times you have people saying like, "Oh, this isn't for you. This is what or why don't you go do your own thing? Or what have you ever done?" Is it not because I've done this, And
exactly.
And mine's for everybody.
Yeah, it looks great, and I've sort of been. I mentioned this to Pedro the other day, but it's just kind of an idea I've been kicking around in my head. I'm sort of comparing, and I guess a lot of people have been doing it, so maybe I'm not original with this thought process, but a lot of people have sort of been comparing the state of society as like Rome in collapse back in the day, and to sort of condense that further down more to the comic book industry, I sort of see Marvel and DC something like Rome, in a way that they have all the decadence, all the advantages, all the money, all the whatever you could want to have, you know what I mean? But they still have seemingly kind of squandered the opportunity. And then you've got people like us, the indie guys, who are basically, this is kind of the catchphrase, we're basically the barbarians on the gates, to take it historically. Like we're becoming, at some point, I think Pedro said it well, it's a walking race, because I think like within the next 10 years, like an IP like this, for sure, I could see making it into the mainstream, just forcing its way in, you know what I mean, like being so successful that as stuff falls out of favor over the next 10 years, and these creators who are seemingly a little more locked into different ideologies, as the ideologies fade away and creativity just sort of blooms through. I think it'll be a lot of guys in our indie space, not saying me specifically, but, just, you might be surprised who you turn and see like, oh, I knew that guy, 2 or 3 years ago. And
I hope so. Yeah. I kind of look at it. Listen, if Marvel and Disney, they want something, they'll just come and take it. It's if as much as I would like to think that my IP could break through and people are all these people are gonna want to come see this, that, whatever. I'm just more cynical. I'm going, if they want it, they'll either, if they don't come in and offer the lowest thing or just take it, they'll just make their own carbon copy and just make mine go away.
Yeah, exactly.
But to your point though, I just think that even to non-fans, a lot of these stories are starting to just feel stagnant and not that fun anymore. I went to Black Panther 2 and I've never fallen asleep in a movie before. And that was the first, and I fell asleep during that movie. It was just, there wasn't a lot of action.
I refuse to watch that movie.
Yeah. And I'm at a point, Pedro, where I refuse to kind of give Marvel any money anymore.
Yeah.
And anybody I talk to, I try to, it sounds crazy, dude, but I try to like shoo people away from giving any money to any of that stuff. And people who still read Marvel and DC, this is me. I'm sorry. I just went through my own thing. Well, what are you doing? Just give that money to us. Give them money.
Yeah.
But just support other things. They're telling just old regurgitated stories. If you want to hear, they don't care about these characters that we love.
And they're using it to lecture you or whatever the hell.
Well, dude, at this point, with all the new writers and everybody coming in, with this point, it's like when you have a video game when you're playing like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and you can move the joystick to the left and the skin, like it doesn't matter what skin you put on this anymore. It's just it's
the same lecture. Oh.
So it's like Spider-Man's 50 years old, and he's going through. It's all right. Like it's really getting a little dumb at this point. So read Cyberfrog, read Tropical, read this other stuff, and let's just stop giving them our money. And even when they change and say, hey, we're making cool stuff now, it's like, we don't care. We're making cooler stuff. And we can
Yeah, absolutely. What we
are sorry. I'm mad.
Hey,
I'm angry.
Don't be sorry, man.
No,
you're saying things that need to be said.
But I think it comes out in your work too. I mean, it's this seriously does look like. I mean, the art's beautiful. The setup is a lot of fun. You can just look and see that there's a lot of love that comes through with this. So, I mean, I expect you to do well at conventions, and when this does get out more, I'm not sure if I asked already, but do you have any idea when the second book is going to go into production?
Well, the second one, I told you how I draw the thing out. Mm-hmm. The second one is already completely drawn and written. It's just a matter of getting Jake dialed up and interested enough to do the second one. He's already started it. So I know he's done a couple pages, but he's also raising a family and he's got a lot of other stuff going on. So we'll see. But I think some of it too depends on. You start having all sorts of messed up thoughts, dude. It's like part of me, it's like I've gotten this far and I used to be so excited to put this out and I've gotten this far and all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't know. Oh, like, I don't know. Nobody's gonna like it. Should I even put this thing out? And I'm like, nah, dude, you got it. So I'm really sticking with it. But it's weird. I've never had those kind of thoughts before. Like
before you were working in creative endeavors, but it wasn't your thing. Now this is you. Obviously, there's going to be some apprehension, some self-doubt. That's normal. But dude, you just have to rear naked choke that voice in your head.
Yeah. So with the second one, it's like part of me is already like, man, if people don't like the first one at all, I guess there's not really any point in doing the second one, but. I think that the second one, I think, is really where the fun really starts to happen, and man, If I can do it, I'm so excited to do it.
Dude, I can talk for the story because I haven't read the book yet. But just on the point that your characters are so unique, so marketable, and so recognizable. Like, dude, people are gonna enjoy it. At least they're gonna enjoy that. And dude, like what you've told me so far about the story, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, man. Like, yeah, obviously we're not here to be loved by everyone. So more than likely somebody's not gonna like it. And yeah, hey.
Well, and it's an all ages book though, so I'm really want to see what the 5-year-olds think of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, it just sounds like some mid-campaign burnout, which is pretty common. I was even reading about that today. Like another creator posted that online, experiencing it, which it does happen. And you are technically in the middle of your campaign if you extended another 60 days or another 30 days. I mean, so it's natural, I think, just to be a little tired.
Yeah, well, I also and I also like I feel like I'm not doing enough because I was getting the book out was really hard, and then now you have everybody saying, well, now you got to paddle,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And I guess I'll start YouTubing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know what to do, man. But I'm actually doing like I'm trying to just do the grassroots thing, is hang out with you guys, hang out in the chat, try and get anybody, to check it out and give it a chance. But I've also, I printed up a bunch of like little business cards that has all this information on it. So I'm just I'm going down the street, hanging out at the bars and just like handing them out.
Nice.
People all over. Anytime I
like it.
I play a lot of slow pitch softball. I'm on like 5 softball teams here in LA.
Very nice.
And the team, there's the team that beat us last night. They're all in the parking lot. Like, yeah, I'm like, hey guys, I'm trying to make a comic book. I'm like,
right on, dude.
You guys just kicked their butt, but
dude, but that's the spirit, man. Like every situation is an opportunity. You are here for your IP, dude. So
well, dude, that's what's funny, dude. There's this on Sundays. There's this one guy who's just always jawing and like giving like people a hard time. And one time he even came into the dugout and was giving me a hard time. And at the time I was like, dude, shut the up, bro. Now I'm like, it's a potential customer, dude.
Exactly.
Like, I'm like, I want his money. I'm gonna be nice to him and just be like, hi, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if he's coming at you aggressively, you can just sort of try to chess move around it and, just sort of play it, kill him with kindness in a way.
That's right, man.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. We got Neostar. I'll make sure to back Unemployed Monsters as soon as I can.
Oh,
awesome, dude.
Hey, what's up, Neostar? That's so nice of you to say and do. I hope you do it. Thanks, man.
Dude, Neostar has an IP called Riserman. Riser or Riserman? Riserman.
Cool.
Hey, dude, it's also like it has like really good like Mega Man vibes to it.
Cool. It's a launched campaign.
No, he's working on it, but he hasn't announced anything on campaigns or whatnot. But he showed some of his designs around, and yeah, dude, there's a lot of talent in this community, man.
Cool, man. I might have seen it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm working on. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I had that second book. That second book is it's completely done, completely written. I'm gonna use this opportunity now to kind of really try to. What I learned in the first one is I actually have to have that script better and tighter as soon as I can. But because I worked in this storyboard format, rather than just coming up with the script first. I'm going. I really need to kind of go backwards a little bit and then go forward. But yeah, I have another thing I'm working on called Hunter Boss, which is like this ultra violent, kind of the opposite of Unemployed, which is a really fun, ultra violent workplace drama that's sympathetic to like employers.
Very cool. Nice.
All right. Sounds like a fun time. I had an idea. An idea hit me the other day, just like I don't know if it's like a tagline or whatever, but the movie title, Office Culture, came into my mind, but it's like office and then culture, but cult all capitalized. And it's like, new guy starts temp job at a some random marketing firm, and only to find out the firm is actually an evil cult bent on world domination, office culture.
Nice.
That'd be funny, dude. And he's like, yeah. I could see like a couple things funny there. But dude, well, I had an idea, man, but it's, if anybody wants to take it, it was kind of like Office Space meets The Office meets like a zombie apocalypse. Or like a Radio Shack or a Best Buy. So it's like people are like, there's a zombie apocalypse going on, but like your Michael Scott, he's just still concerned with like the deadlines. Like, no, we gotta sell paper.
Right.
But they're like, dude, there's zombies. But maybe like a zombie like meanders into the store and like bumps into paper and takes some out. And he's like, look, we can't stop it from flying off the shelves, and just kind of like, it would be just, I don't know, it'd be a lot of work, but just doing something like that, like you said, Ginge, like kind of meshing like a funny, like a mundane world with a supernatural one.
With that supernatural, yeah, that kind of works.
Alrighty, well, we are actually at an hour now, and we've got the boss man in the background here, getting ready to crack the whip. We keep the show at an hour now, Davey, because we're on this network here with Pops Van Zant, and
cool.
We've got a show, the CG horror movie show. Not my show. It's Brian Christgau. I believe I pronounced that correct. The 6-gun gorilla guy.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Brian Christgau. Yeah.
Neat.
Yep, him and his boys do a show. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up real quick.
Well, it went very quick. I'm sad that it went so fast, and just thank you so much for having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, dude, it was a pleasure, man. The doors are always open, man.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And please come back anytime you want, man. And we'll probably be doing some more hangout type stuff lately, or in the future. We're going to see maybe a draw stream or something like that. So we definitely love to have you on for something like that if you'd be interested.
All right, man. Yeah, I do a little drawing myself, so for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, gang. So Davey, I'm going to bump you to the back real quick, buddy. Appreciate you. Pops, bring your ass on, if you would.
Yeah.
If you have anything to promote before we head out, sir.
No, it's all good. We're just getting ready to set up for the horror show. I think we're doing cigarette burns tonight. So if you're a fan of horror and you're a fan of Brian, you want to tune in on that,
Just like what my mother gave me as a kid.
Yeah.
Cigarette burns.
Yeah. Matt shows up over there and hangs out. ID Crisis shows up over there and hang out. It's always a good show. Hey, do your thing, man. Great show, guys. Thanks, PumSpak, for coming out.
Yeah,
Hook looks good. Join the madness and drop that link once a day. That's how we do that. Y'all have a good night.
You too, sir. All right. Okay, gang. So, that was the Ginge Pedro show. Again, we want to thank Davey Otterby for coming by. And this is seriously, there's a few books that are on my most anticipated. This one is one. Jeremy Thevenot's Beckoned, and when he's coming up in a couple weeks, that's another one I'm really looking forward to. Love the art style, love the look of it, love the feel, love the heart and the passion coming from the creator. So awesome show today, gang. And I want to thank the chat again. We got Neo Star, Stefan, thanks for coming by, buddy. Shout out to Riser Man. Kit Bash, thanks for joining us. Good stuff, always good stuff. Thank you, sir. And we got one other. I don't know, but we're gonna get the hell out of here, everybody. We will see y'all next week.
All right,
Peace.
take care.